Scott,
What's up, Eric?
I got an idea.
Tell me about it. The Idea Tank Podcast. $1 million ideas coming at you now.
You're in the Idea Tank, where we change the world, one idea at a time. Thank you for listening today.
We have a special YouTube-themed episode for you today, and we'll be talking about new YouTube ideas that somebody's got to make. So, Eric, how are you going to change the world of YouTube today?
If anybody's ever been to Starbucks, two typical responses: yum and wow the price. So we're gonna bring that yum home for far less of the price.
Excellent. I'm interested.
Scott, how are you going to change the world today?
I'm going to help you be more entertained on YouTube. So what's going on, Eric? How's your week been?
Well, since our last episode, big news.
What's that? What do you got?
One of our ideas is currently in motion.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
And we didn't get tweeted at the Idea Tank. We could have, but we didn't. It's actually me. I'm doing it.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so I mentioned before that
Wait, you can't do that.
I know that's kind of against our core
you're
principle.
you're out of the Idea Tank.
So, well, first the app
Okay.
idea. I'm taking a class, and we're into the Python section of that Introduction to Programming class with Udacity. I heard them say it. That's how you say it.
Oh, it's not Udacity?
Udacity, nothing like that. Just
Udacity.
Udacity. What did I say? I'm confused again. It doesn't matter. What matters?
Well, we recorded it, so we can just rewind
Yeah,
it after the show.
referencing myself.
There you go.
That's a good source.
Incredible.
You know who said that? Me, just then. So believe it. Yeah, so we went through HTML, went through CSS. I'm switching from engineering to programming, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the HTML and CSS, but not as much as the Python. The Python's fun because it's all back-end stuff. I don't have to worry about what things look like, because as Scott and I are designing our logo, I realize that we can say, that doesn't look right, but we have no idea how to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So with Python, though, it's a lot of back-end stuff which I can fix, and it's fun. One of our projects was a simple quiz, and I thought of my proverb garden is what I'm calling the app, until somebody has a better idea. It's the idea of using an app to interactively quiz you on the content of your scripture of the day. And I made 3 different levels, and as I was doing the medium and hard level, the stuff was soaking in. So I've already enjoyed the possibilities of the app. Right now, it's just out of the terminal on Apple, and in the near future, we will take what we have had before and go forward with either a website or an app. And I think I can take this and turn it into a more full app.
Wonderful. How many hours a week do you think you've been, hours a day, really, have you been working on this?
Oh, it's a good, probably, let's see, because I did Friday, I'd say 35 hours for last week.
Okay.
So 8 hours a day, and then on Friday I got burned out about halfway through, and I was just done. So I went and did other things.
Yeah, after stranded at a computer screen for so long, you just need a break.
And maybe it wasn't, well, yeah, I do need to have a better setup. I'm a big fan of the treadmill desk. Not that I've ever used one, just the idea of it. Need to try it out. I've done a standing desk before. I think it's both. My opinion is it's overrated, and I think science is starting to come out that it's overrated. That if you're not moving, doesn't really matter. It just hurts your body. Actually, you'd be better off sitting.
I'd agree with that.
Do you have a stand-up desk?
No, I don't have a stand-up desk. I'm not going to get one. Actually, I ordered about six or 8 of them today for people in our branch at work, and I got the nice foam mat too for them. Mm-hmm. But it's from a company called Veridesk, and I'm going to go back to one of my ideas of the adjustable countertop height.
Yeah,
like I would like that if I was working in a shop environment or a kitchen somewhere where I can adjust the countertop height where I'm walking around physically during the day. But yeah, when I'm standing there, it doesn't really help. I need to be walking around doing stuff.
Well, what do you think about a treadmill desk? Would you be interested
I
in
like that idea better. We have one of those at work as well. It's maxed out at 2.0 miles per hour.
Yes.
For safety.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really like those. If I could run and work at the same time, I would.
Do you think you can focus enough?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I kind of get into a groove. So for background, I've run a couple ultra marathons before, and for training in the ultra marathons, I can just go out any given day and run a marathon distance, and just basically turn my brain off and just go on cruise control. And typically, I just listen to podcasts while I'm running. But if I could focus that time, because it's like 3-4 hours, if I could focus that time for another task, I'd be all about that. So yeah, running. Treadmill desks.
When I go running, I've tried to listen to podcasts, but I hate it so much that I need motivation. I think the last time I went running, just to run outside, I had the John Cena entrance music playing round and round.
Did you really?
It was like an audio version of somebody kicking me, which is what I needed.
Oh man,
felt good afterwards. Maybe if I do it more and I get in better shape, then I'd be able to focus.
Yeah, I think so. You end up getting into kind of a rhythm where once you get your breathing down right,
mm-hmm.
Once you get your breathing down right, you're able to get into more of that rhythm.
Okay.
Where you're not like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die if I don't take another breath.
Been there.
Yeah. And actually, when I first started running a lot, treadmills helped me time that very, very well. Because at treadmills, you can set it to a certain speed, and you're always going that speed. Otherwise, you're gonna fall off the back and then end up on YouTube.
What's going on in your world?
Marketing. So I've been marketing for. I don't even know what I've been marketing for.
What's the name of your website?
So I've been marketing for homes in the Clear Lake area. My website's clearlakehousebuyers.net. In the Clear Lake area of Houston, so League City, Friendswood, Dickinson, Kemah, Seabrook, and
if you're from Long Island, Kemah is the place that you don't know about, and Seabrook is right next to that place.
Yes. So yeah, I've been marketing, and I've been reading some interesting articles online on Zero Hedge. Have you ever been there?
No. What's Zero Hedge?
Just it has a lot of economic news, kind of the stories you don't hear about on CNN or
are we talking deep
Finance.
State stuff here?
What?
Are we talking deep state stuff here?
Deep state secrets. Probably not that much.
Do you have to go to the web address and do /deep state to get the real stuff?
No, you don't have to do this. But so one of the articles that they posted on here was about millennials preferentially liking, and totally understandable, but they enjoy cities, the more densely populated areas. So like in Houston, there's Midtown, where a lot of millennials are people without kids are congregating. So they're moving out of the suburbs. And so you have this decrease in suburb population, increase in like the city centers. And it comes into play with the baby boomer population. So the baby boomer population lives in the suburbs.
Right.
And so they're getting the retirement age. So they kind of have two choices. One, they can either remodel their home and stay there, or keep it the same and continue to live there. But at some point they're going to age, and they're going to have to either move out or go to some retirement home. And so with millennials going to the city, baby boomers moving either moving out, doing a snowbird type thing, or not fixing up their apartment or their home and moving to assisted living care, there is less of a demand for homes in that area. So it means you can get them cheaper. And
in the suburbs, there's a drop in demand.
Generally.
In general,
so
okay.
Zero Hedge has a couple good articles about it. And Houston, I think it is different for a lot of one of the big reasons is that Houston's growing by about 300 people per day. It's like the equivalent of a 747 landing here and kicking all the people off the plane saying, see you later. Welcome to the humidity.
Mm.
And so, yeah, with the suburb population, where I'm going with all this is the older people. That's who I'm marketing to, is these people that have the homes, probably have high equity in the homes, and they're either put into a situation where essentially they value time over money. And so they are either retiring, just leaving their home, they just want to get out of it, or ending up having to move to assisted living centers, and really just not wanting to hassle with all the repairs.
And I presume if they do not hassle with the repairs and somebody else does, the one who repaired will sell. The one who repaired their house will sell.
So there is that. So it's good for house buying, for real estate investors, but it's also good for remodelers as well, because if those people choose to stay there, will probably want their house remodeled.
Okay.
To some extent. It's probably not a full remodel, but whatever their budget is.
Okay. So your marketing.
The marketing
Did it go out?
Older people. No, not yet. I think we're in the last round of iterations before we send it out.
Oh, yeah. I was part of that iteration, right?
Yeah, thank you for the comments.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Did you like it?
So like we're talking about, we're designing a logo for this site or for this podcast, and you look at it and you think, well, that doesn't look right. I have no idea what to do with that. We initially saw our website and it didn't pass the professional eye test.
The clearlakehousebuyers.net?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Then you made some changes, and I'd say it's about 50-50, but in the investment business, website's not that important. It existing is kind of
it's a check mark.
Yes.
Do they have a website? Check.
But that postcard that you send to people, that can put you into one of two categories. Either you get a yellow cardboard letter that says I'm maybe a local guy, maybe I'm your local good old neighbor just looking to help out my neighbor, or maybe you're a newbie who's really, really cheap, or you can go the professional route and get a very nice looking clean card, and maybe you're such a professional that you're backed by big oil and big banks, or maybe you just know what you're doing, so you're the one to call. And it's, if I'm remember correctly, home buyers will judge based on consistency.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. They want to be, the more times you appear in front of them, the more likely they are to call you.
And you, Scott, you went the route of professional because it's a nice looking card. And one thing that surprised me was the pink text.
Yeah, it really stands out.
And not in a weird way either. It doesn't make it look cheesy. It makes it look like you know what you're doing. Here's my phone number.
I do know what I'm doing.
Ho ho.
The other thing I did with the card is I added a section of referral, because I have 2,000 of these a month going out. And obviously most people aren't going to know or aren't going to have a house to sell, but they may know somebody that needs, like a neighbor. They might know a neighbor that wants to sell their house. So I am leveraging from all those ads going out saying, hey, you can make $1,000 if you refer the people that you know to me. And just for everyone's background, the general rule of thumb for marketing to get one deal for real estate investment is that you either need like 400 to 500 hours of labor.
I thought it was 40 to 60.
For one deal?
Yeah.
No, it's like 400.
400?
Yeah, 10 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Okay.
If it was 40, I'd be doing that all day long. So that would be like door knocking, writing, mailing out. That's what I'm talking about?
The time.
The
the time
that you
door
would put
knocking,
in for marketing.
leaving hangers, stuff like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I've 400 to 500 hours
Of that.
of marketing time individually, or $5,000 in marketing expense for postcards, flyers, yellow letters. So if I can get somebody with one of these postcards and say, "Hey, I'll buy this house for $1,000, and I'll give you $1,000," that's significantly cheaper than $5,000, and it's a good deal for the referral person. It's a good deal for me, and it's a good deal for the person selling their house because they get out of their house.
Now, the check that they receive for $1,000.
Yep.
How big is it?
It's Publishers Clearinghouse.
Excellent.
I think that's what we need to have. A big old check, and that way we can put it on the website. So when they see it, they're like, "What?
Wow.
This guy's for real."
Are we ready to jump into the tank?
Let's dive in.
Quick thanks to our sponsor, outsourcemyfunding.com. If you need a small business loan and the bank said no, you have plenty of options. In fact, too many options. Outsource My Funding is like priceline.com for all of your funding needs. Check them out. On with the show.
So what's your idea this week, Eric?
My idea is going to need a pause in this podcast. I'll be
pausing?
right back.
Okay.
And we're back. And I have coffee. Well, I've got an empty coffee mug.
Empty Starbucks coffee mug.
So the premise here, the idea is there's a surprisingly good beverage at Starbucks. And it does not rhyme with Rappuccino. It is, in my opinion, cold brew coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And you might be thinking, why is this on the Idea Tank podcast? Everybody knows about cold brew coffee. Everybody knows about it? Go ahead.
This is the stuff that you have to make like the night before, right?
Sorry, I smelled the mic after smelling the coffee. Yeah.
Okay.
But how long, Scott?
I don't know. I think it's just the night before. My friend in South Dakota, he runs some Scooter's coffee shop, and he explained the process of making cold brew.
Mm-hmm.
I thought iced coffee was literally just like day old coffee, like the hot coffee that they had the day before, and they had extra of it, and they just put it in the fridge, and then they pour it over their ice cubes the next day and sell it.
Yeah.
But it's totally different.
Correct. You want to take a smell?
Yeah, let's smell test. Wow. Very aromatic.
Mm-hmm. Are you picking up notes of things?
Yes, but I don't know how to describe them.
Well, you just make them up. That's
good.
All right, so I'm going to pour you a little bit because it is highly caffeinated. So much that you can...
Will I be up all night?
Maybe.
All right, I'm taking a drink here. Whew. That is strong stuff. It's
Okay.
very good. It's not incredibly bitter.
Dare I say, does it lack any bitterness?
Pretty much. There's a tiny hint of bitterness in there. But it's a lot smoother.
A lot smoother. Absolutely. So cold brew coffee, if you've never had it, it's coffee. It's cold. And it's so smooth and lacks the bitterness of normal coffee that it almost tastes sweet. I don't think it is sweet.
I don't think it's sweet.
But the lack of those things you expect have the net effect of this sweet, pleasant, very, very clean taste.
So this was brewed like yesterday?
Correct.
Or a few days ago?
So this is what I need from somebody's YouTube channel. I need people to get to the bottom of these recipes. I'm not interested to know if you've read an article that says it had this much grounds, it had this much water, this much time. I want you to run enough tests until we have some graphs. So there's a couple variables here with cold brew coffee. I need somebody to make a video of changing all those variables until we know what's the optimal cold brew recipe. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Someone needs to do this. This one right here.
I was just going to offer more like suggestions on what to do, and this could be one of the variables in it.
Go on.
But have you ever heard of Chemex?
The Chemex filter?
Yeah, Chemex filters.
Yes.
Yes, phenomenal.
Yes. This was filtered with 2 regular filters.
Oh, so a quasi Chemex.
Correct.
Probably not even close.
Depending on your neighborhood coffee artiste.
Barista?
Barista, yes. The main reason that I want this to be done is not really for the recipe, because that does change a lot. It's really because people say that cold brew coffee is less acidic than regular coffee.
Okay.
But what would you do to prove such a thing, Scott?
Experimental matrix.
Yes.
And then go do it.
How would you test the acidity?
pH paper.
I can't find anything.
Serious?
pH paper, cold brew coffee.
Wow. You know what would be really funny is to go into a Starbucks or go into a place where they're like a blacksmith coffee downtown and talk to a barista about pH, and then take pH paper out of your pocket and put it in.
That'd be a great video.
Yeah.
Because you could do all these tests, but in the reality, I really want to know, should I get the regular coffee or should I spend the extra $1 to get the cold brew?
So you just let the beans soak in there?
Correct.
Interesting.
Oh, not just the beans. I ground
you ground them, yeah. And then filter them out.
Correct.
Do you boil it at all?
No.
It's all cold?
No.
Mm.
But I boil it afterwards, just to make sure it's good in coffee.
Do you think? It's like, isn't there a Budweiser commercial like they say, or Coors Light commercial where they talk about their whole fermenting process and whole manufacturing process was done at like this certain colder temperature that makes it better than most beer? Is it Coors?
Frost brewed or something like that?
Something like that.
I remember that. And my question is, cool, but why do I care?
Why does this matter? Yeah.
I mean, I personally like Coors more than other light beers.
You have a lot of that with these coffee and these baristas. They speak all of this stuff, and it's like, blah, blah, blah. I have no scientific evidence to prove what I'm saying.
Correct.
It's all subjective.
Correct. So, someone's got to change that.
Somebody's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it.
I like it.
Our sponsor this week is outsourcemyfunding.com, your one-stop shop for all of your secondary business loan ideas. Look, if the bank has said no and you've got 2 years of experience, maybe you don't qualify for the bank loan, or maybe you just don't want to deal with their hassle. Traditionally, your next step is to go to a loan broker who will connect you to all of the different lending options out there. A good loan broker will connect you with lending options, but they're going to do it for 3 to 5, even up to 18%. It's 2017, so if you want to do this online and save a lot of money, just like you would with priceline.com, check out outsourcemyfunding.com. You're going to be connected with over 20 lenders with one online questionnaire. Then you will see which of those lenders will meet your business needs and only apply to those specific lenders. For your small business lending needs, check them out, outsourcemyfunding.com. All right, Scott, are you ready to jump into the idea tank?
Yeah, let's do it. So my ideas this week, I kind of have 3 of them, really 2, and I'm just going to ad-lib another one in there, but it has to do with shaking, rattling, and rolling.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm fascinated by the hydraulic press channel. Have you seen the hydraulic press channel? They just put stuff in a hydraulic press and just press it down with like thousands of psi of pressure until things burst.
What are some of the things that they've crushed?
The last one I think I saw was a Furby.
A Furby, okay.
Yeah. They've crushed, I think, magnets on them. They've crushed
Diamonds?
have they?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
it
that's sad.
fractured. It fractured away.
Yeah. And they've crushed. I don't know what else.
Gold bar?
Did they?
Yeah.
Man, so you've watched this a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
To get an idea of what the pressure is, when they're pressing things, they look like they're melting and reforming, especially the gold. The gold's it's pretty neat.
It's really cool. If you ever touch something that's been pressed together like that, they're actually really hot.
Correct.
Which is, I don't know the physics behind it, but some physical change and heat energy of some type.
Increase.
Yes.
I got your back, Scott.
Thanks, man. It's a mechanical engineer and you coming out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't keep that piece of paper rolled up in the closet for nothing.
So instead of pressing it together, you pull it. Have you heard of Instron machines?
Yes.
So put stuff in an Instron machine and pull the heck out of it.
So Instron is like you said, just instead of crushing something,
it does the opposite of a hydraulic press. You can put samples on in these machines. A lot of them, sometimes they're metals, sometimes they're fabrics. You can kind of put whatever you want into it, just as long as you have a good way to clamp it down, and you can pull things apart.
Imagine a femur bone.
Yes.
Like a big bone, and you got 2 holes drilled on either side of the bone, and you're pulling the bone apart from those 2 holes until the middle pulls away.
Yep. Or it's just like, imagine putting Stretch Armstrong inside of one of these, and it just stretches and stretches and stretches, and then you get your elastic deformation until it just snaps. So that's one thing I want to see on YouTube. Second thing,
that was the stretch.
That was stretch.
And now we have rattle and roll. I'm excited.
So, I'll do the roll next because I like the rattle the best. So the roll is tumbling machines. So throw things in a tumbling machine, like a dryer. I mean, even a dryer.
Okay.
I know they have like professional rock tumblers where you can smooth off edges on rocks. So put stuff in there, see what happens. Put a video and some lights in there.
Like a GoPro?
Like a GoPro.
Would the GoPro be fixed or
fixed?
Would it also
so
be...
you can, so you can fix so you can see whatever you throw in there.
Okay.
And then the rattle part is a vibe table. Vibe tables, we use them in space flight for and they have huge ones for these, but shaking spacecraft, like parts of like the Apollo command module, actually the whole rocket was shaken at one point. And so you can shake things at all kinds of different frequencies, and you can actually shoot sound waves at these, at different components to shake them as well. And so I want to see new things, different things put on these vibe tables, as we call them, vibration tables, and see what happens to them. See if you can hit, like, you've heard the natural frequency of things, like the Tacoma Narrows Bridge ended up, that's the Galloping Gertie, I think they called it, where the bridge up in Tacoma, Washington just rocked back and forth until it fell apart. It hit its natural frequency. So I want to see things on vibe tables vibrate at their natural frequency until they fall apart.
So would this happen on a vibrating table? Would screws start to come loose? Like for my computer, would it fall apart into all of its pieces?
I don't know. I think screws would eventually start coming out if they weren't torqued down enough. And that's one of the things we test for space flight experiments. We test things to make sure everything's screwed down tight enough, and as it goes through known vibe loads for a rocket launch, things don't fall out. So things could potentially just kind of like just start falling apart. Screws could start vibrating out. I'm thinking of like a transformer robot mounted to one of these vibe tables, and as you shake it, like different parts of it, it's like heads will start falling off, arms will start falling off at different locations.
Well, all right, deconstruction. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's deconstruct.
I'm going to have to hear some examples of what is going to be pulled apart in such a way, shaken or vibrated that will be entertaining. Because will it blend?
That is entertaining.
You pretty much blend anything and I'm in.
Yes.
Because it will break something. Will it shake? Yeah, probably. But then what?
Will it pull?
Will it pull? Yeah, probably. It's like, will anything survive that pull? No.
No, nothing's gonna survive it. I don't have any good examples right now.
I think that's going to be the crux of it. Is I'm sure there's something out there.
Yeah.
So especially that the Instron machine is tough. The pulling machine.
Yeah.
Because even when you design things to be pulled, it can be tough to keep that experiment together. We're thinking, what could we shake? I mean, no animals for the tumbler. No way.
I think a cat on the vibe table would be wonderful.
A cat on the vibe table, yeah, for sure. A cat on the vibe.
Or like a frog. It's like, what's going on?
If you could, all right. I think I figured it out. Animals that have expressions that are not fastened to a vibrating table. I'm in.
Yeah.
Like if you,
so they can jump off.
And they will jump off. Of course they will. Or you'll have a dog that'll just be sitting there looking like, this is different. Okay.
I like it.
Not getting up. That's for sure.
Probably wouldn't want to put like a turtle on there, something that can't leave it that quick.
Yeah, that's...
Do we need to have a disclaimer at the end of this saying like, no cats or dogs were hurt during the filming of this episode?
I think these would be a hit if you got the right item to shake, rattle, or roll.
Mm-hmm.
Or pull. Someone's got to do that? Maybe.
Question? Is that a question mark in there?
That was a question mark.
That was. Somebody... And so the nice thing about all these ideas that we're given is they don't need to be necessarily 100% fully developed right now.
Correct.
We just need to get them out there. And somebody probably has cool stuff that they can shake, like build a Lego tower and shake it.
There you go.
And do this all in slow-mo so you can see the little screws fall out of Megatron's head. So... But yeah, somebody's got to do it. Exclamation point.
Turn it around.
Well, that's our show for today. Somebody's got to do it.
If you have an idea to share, tweet us. We'll mention you and the idea on the show.
What if one of our listeners has already done one of our ideas?
Tweet us at Idea Tank Podcast.
But what if one of our listeners is in the industry and know why our idea won't work?
Tweet us at Idea Tank Podcast. If these ideas are yours, take them and change the world. I mean, that could be cool and all, but when you say transforming robot, could you tell me more about the people that are around the Transformers and what's going on in their life? And what sort of fun games are they involved with? And what's their sense of humor life?
Is this a jab at the Transformers movie?
Yeah, Michael Bay. Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah.
He focused on Shia LaBeouf, who I enjoy. But you got Optimus Prime and Megatron.
I will name one good Michael Bay movie.
Go on.
The Rock.
Oh, I'll name another. Bad Boys.
Oh, I've never watched it.
Yeah. He didn't stick his foot in the door. He earned his place. But then once he got there, he ruined Hollywood forever.